welcome to another Tahar Talks episode. Today we have with us two of my favorite guests. We have the current school captains, Kaina and Ridan, who are here to talk about a rather serious topic. But before we get into that, let me just ask you, Ridan, how much time do you spend watching Netflix per week? Like at home.
I think 3 hours.
And Kaina, you?
Would definitely like a good 7 hours. I'm pretty sure.
Pretty sure mine's 12 hours. Well, you can only hope that people spend this much time watching Tahar Talks too. But Kaina, Ridan, over to you guys. What do you want to share with our audience?
Okay, so something that we want to talk about today is what our vacations look like and what we could potentially do to make them look maybe a little bit more productive. We're not asking you to sit down the entire day and have like a proper schedule and study the entire day. We're just trying to make your vacations go from doom scrolling to doing something actually productive.
Now, we know that vacations are actually a beautiful time, especially for our boarding school students, because they get to rejuvenate and, spend time with their families, friends. It's a great time. But nowadays, with a lot of social media access, OTTs, people have just not kept a track of their time, especially what they are doing. It's just become quite isolated, and people and students need to explore new activities, spend more time with their friends, because that is what's going to create more memories.
So something that often ends up happening when we're at home is that we end up having really late, like really a really relaxed, very like sedentary type of a day, right? So we want to maybe first start by contrasting that with what our day looks like here at school. So what happens here is that we end up waking up really early in the morning, actually 6 o'clock usually, 5:30 when we have morning workouts, and we remain mostly active throughout the day, right? Because if you don't end up going for evening games due to some practice, something that's all, you always have your morning workouts to make up for that. Additionally, our screen time, especially during the day, if not in the evenings, is mostly limited because we have our teachers and they would give us permission on whether we should be using our laptops or not. Because if we do end up using it the entire day, it does get taxing for our eyes, for our mental health also.
So one of the things that usually happens at home is that uh, there is no plan or certain sort of activities you're going to do at the day. Like usually, sometimes what happens with me, I just wake up late. I don't know what I'm going to do. Either I eat a lot, again, watch something, go and talk to someone, and just sleep in again. But I think uh, moving on from this vacation, it's gonna be better if parents try to push their children towards doing more fun and more productive things in the vacation. Like for example, the most basic things are, I'm sure a lot of you live in cities who have good access to a lot of clubs. Clubs are a great way to relax yourself and also have a great social interaction. Like go for swimming, squash, cricket, football. Try to stay in form with your fitness and the sports. Try to stay in touch with the skills which you have honed at school, you have practiced at school, because then it becomes quite easy once you're back to get back into the game.
And because you guys just mentioned all of this, I would just like butt in over here and add a small thing in. This also takes me to the fact because, as Kaina Sarba mentioned, we have such a specific schedule we follow in the school. And once we go home, we have no one deciding our schedule for us, right? We can literally do whatever. This takes me back to this feeling that those 2 months you spend at home, you have the potential to actually utilize those in such great ways. But because you have no one to tell you what to do anymore, you choose to not. So I would personally just, at a very personal level, just tell all the viewers to put in a conscious effort this summer to see what they can do to make their summer better.
Yes, I fully agree. And actually, more than just the student viewers, I think if the if the parents of our school, try to contribute a little bit more to this, we could actually make this entire plan a success. Because thing that happens is that we end up like I mentioned in school when we're at school, we have a lot of things to keep us engaged, right? When we go back home, we tend to lose track of all that. And when that happens, when we have a lot of empty and free time on our hands, we end up doing things that may not be appropriate for us or may actually be causing harm to us in manners which we're not realizing just yet. For example, when we're at school, we have 40 guard and 40 net, which are like firewalls, which prevent us from accessing content, from adult content, and from actually it prevents us from accessing a lot of things. But when we go home, this sort of disappears. We have nothing of this sort to keep our activity in check, to make sure we're not doing the wrong things, and that sort of stuff. Additionally, with the use of social media and a lot more accessibility to the internet, such kind of content has become a lot more accessible to kids of our age and even younger, from all the way from grade 7 to grade 12. It's become a lot easier for students to be accessing this sort of thing.
And something which is very important, which I think all of us should take into consideration, is that when children engage with such kind of content, and when it's quite normal for parents to not feel quite good, and there can be instances where parents are furious at their children. However, we need to understand that it is not the child who is wrong here. It is not the it is the action which is wrong, because even the child, especially as we said that this is happening from grade 7 to 12, children in the bracket of grade 7 to 9 are still growing, still in their adolescence, a lot of hormonal changes. They need more counseling from the parents side, because with the amount of the penetration such content is had on the internet, it's quite difficult, and even the parents are busy in their own schedule. It's quite difficult to keep a tab or check on the students for this. But it's very important that there's a lot of discussion and counseling from the parents.
No, I agree with what you guys are saying so much, especially because, the one thing which both of you mentioned is that everything that's happening over the break, or anything that's happening in growing kids' life, the keyword over here is the word kid or child. And while we do expect, every student to be, to have ownership over what they're doing, and then it's also very important for the adults around us to, still keep an eye on us and still see what's going on.
Yeah, so coming to that, to the adults keeping an eye on us, and to ensuring we're not falling into the wrong sort of an influence online. We actually would like to suggest a few parental controls to our parent viewers, so that they could move ahead and try to like better monitor their kids' lives, and also just be more involved in their kids' lives, right? So one software that works that has like great reviews is called Bart Phone. So with the software, you can monitor their internet activity, you can monitor their location, and just important things of that sort. Another one, this is especially for Android users, it works really well, is Boomerang Parental Controls. This also works in the same way, where you can monitor their internet activity on YouTube, on social media, on a lot of other websites, and it gives you filtered searches. So your kids cannot also cannot access really inappropriate content. So this is something that we actually suggest, and we think that may work really well when your kids are at home with you.
So, guys, I would ask you this question. So, all of you have spoken about, the various ways our life changes when we're at home, and the way, parents can ensure that they minimize these changes. But I just want us to have a very frank discussion about what happens when, stuff like this is not kept in mind. How is it for the kids when they come back from longer breaks, back to school?
Right. So when kids come, so this is something that we'd actually been talking about with Sarah ma'am and Jacob sir when we met with them some time back. When kids come back from school, it gets so difficult for the teachers here, for all of us also, to get them back into the routine, or the feeling of being back in school. Because even for us, right, when we come back, waking up at 6 a.m. is difficult, to say the very least. But it's honestly, it's more important for us as students to make sure that we still keep in touch, especially with, say, for example, skills, right? Not just academic skills, even our co-curricular skills that we develop over time here at school. When we go back home, we completely lose touch with them. For example, if someone here plays the drums, when they go back home, they choose to just let go of their skills, and to just settle into a more calm, a more everyday routine, right? So there's no actual things that's happening. And that is what we also want to point out. Get your kids to join societies like debating societies, or to join clubs, or to just be part of any event that would still keep, their brain going and their hands working.
And I think the point which kind of said about settling in, and it's very important, because when the students are just used to sitting at the home for longer times, just doom scrolling, or not doing anything active, the issue is that when they come back to school, there's a dramatic shift. They have zero access to their phones, the social media, going out continuously every day with their friends. All of that has been blocked. So it's a very big emotional shift for the students, and it takes quite a good amount of time for them to get back in the schedule, for them to feel at home again here.
And just adding a little student perspective over here. As a student myself, whenever I go back home, I love telling my friends all around me, or non-boarding school kids, that for me it's the biggest flex how I can sit for hours without, even touching my phone. But then also, I think even for me, despite of the fact that I can claim that I can flex about that, even though despite of all of that, whenever I come back after vacations, I do have this need for my phone. I do find myself how often has it happened that we've entered the dining hall and the first thing we've looked for in our pockets right after coming back is our phone.
Like if I hear a vibration anywhere, I'm just like, oh, it's
the iPhone ringtone makes me turn around and look for my phone.
I agree. And also another thing is that while we may be talking about here, and it may sound a little bit like we're preaching, we're really not, because we're experiencing the same things. When we go back home, we also find it difficult to put away our devices, or to, just like really spend time working on the things that we also work on in school. Which brings us to another thing that we wanted to talk about here, especially for the older kids. So when we go home, we are given a set of deadlines to follow and to comply with. So that is something that is really important to us, because as students, we need to still keep up with our schoolwork. When we come back to school, we have a lot more in store for us. So making sure that we finish off our work at home is crucial.
And this is especially for the IBDP 1 students. As Kana said, this year we have received a series of deadlines. So IBDP, there are a lot of submissions to make. We have our extended essays, IAs, TOKs. Your children must have talked to you about that. There's a lot of things. And the important part here is that often students end up spending so much time for these projects, which only account for, let's say, 20% of their entire result. And in doing so, they end up compromising on a lot of other academic stuff which they have to catch up on. So it's very important that within these 2 months, that the deadlines which have been assigned by the school, the students do actually end up completing the projects, because once they are back, it's going to be even more relaxing for them than it's going to be for anyone else. And I think when we talked about the addiction to the phone or doom scrolling, I think one important thing here is that it's not quite easy to get people rid of their phones. So I think one thing which I would suggest is reading, which is a very important thing. And I don't think reading is still a very prominent thing between the youth today. Reading is actually, the point of reading is that it is a good mental exercise. It makes you imagine. It opens ways to new ideas, and there are a lot of older kids, especially who would now require a skill set of lifelong learning. Let's say going out in the future jobs. So reading is going to be an integral part, and if the student does not feel quite accustomed or comfortable to reading, let them start with a fiction book. At least let students make themselves a goal that maybe they can have one book quite well read this vacation, because it actually paves way for a lot of new things.
And I was just adding to what Ridan has said, because I know so many people in Gutchapur, including myself, we love reading in Gutchapur. I know there was a time I was reading like 6 books per week. But even, despite of how much I love reading and how much I try reading at home, and that's me, but I know so many more kids who have not been able to continue and sustain this habit once they're at home. So what I would like generally say as one student to another, and someone who loves reading to someone else, who I know so many kids who read in Gutchapur, just try to sustain this habit. Despite of you having your phones and having your television in front of you, just try to sustain the habit of reading.
Try to at least like give yourselves a particular amount of time in a day where you dedicate that to reading. Because even later on when you go off to university, reading is a major part of every course that you do, regardless of what it is.
And I'm just going to add this in. This is just for like, this needs to be added in. The more you read, the more you know. And the more you know, the more fun you appear at parties. So
sure, Prisha's interpretation of what fun looks like at a party is very different from what I think, but that's all right. But I do want to once again circle back to what we talked about, adult content online. We're basically referring to shows or series that have adult content, and we're also referring to pornographic content. The reason that I want to point this out once again is because I want to once again shed light on what happens to these kids when they end up becoming addicted to this sort of content. I feel like we missed out that part when we were talking about it earlier, and we moved on from it a little quickly. The reason that this is really important to be addressed is because to be able to educate the people around us, we first need to ourselves understand what happens why you should not get addicted, why it is bad for you, and what happens once you do end up getting addicted. One thing that I have repeatedly talked about is the way it affects your the parts of your brain which are related to this. So what happens is once you get addicted to something that is providing you with that sense of that sense of pleasure, that serotonin of sorts, it ends up making your body ends up becoming dependent on it. So when that happens, you're not able to feel that sort of feeling unless you have a strong stimuli such as these to be able to make you feel like that, which is when kids start feeling dull, they start feeling listless, they don't want to do anything else anymore, right? They just want to sit in a corner slumped over their phone or their iPad or whatever it is, because they do not wish to do anything else.
I think that one of the biggest issues, especially when it comes to understanding in our generation, is the fact that we are very quick to like completely categorize like drug addiction and substance abuse into one category versus addiction for all other things. So even if we were to take a moment to like consider addiction to pornography, we need to understand how it actually biologically comes on the same level as addiction to any substance. And it's
And-
important to like, yeah.
And I think pornographic content, especially in the country like India, though things are becoming better, there's still an large population which considers that as a social taboo or would not feel comfortable talking about that to their
Right.
children. However, you need to understand that if you feel that not conveying it to your children, you're kind of protecting them from that. Internet has already opened so many new ways for them to access it. You may not even be knowing that your child has knowingly or unknowingly or come across any kind of such content. And even more than that, it actually has a huge impact on the social interaction that a child has, especially with the opposite gender. Because once you start viewing a lot of pornographic content, the way you view the other gender, the way you treat, the way you talk, there's a dramatic shift in that.
Yes, I agree with that completely.
So just for closing remarks, would you guys like to sum up everything, just for the viewers once?
Yeah, I would like to say that I think you definitely do not need to worry about academic skills because we all get holiday homework in the vacation to worry about. So that is not something that anyone needs to think about. But yes, we do recommend thinking a lot about your co-curricular skills, your overall like holistic development, like
Yeah.
sports and other things like that.
I think I would just say that for the parents, you could go back to your vacation days and think when you had no technology, the kind of fun things you used to do. Because my dad always kind of taunts me that, your generation is just always on the phone. Like, once he gave me a chance to go out in the tree and pick up a mango. So there are great things.
Very life changing for the
Students can explore. Parents, please, and parents really have a great time and great bonding coming out of the screens.
And spend as much time as you can together because trust me, we miss you all a lot when we come back to school.
So those were our school captains on to our talks with very important messages. So thank you so much, guys, and thank you so much for our viewers for being over here today. So thank you.
Thank you, Prerna, for hosting us.
Yes.
Thank you very much.